More than 200 other hostages remain in Gaza. This all comes as the UN Secretary General condemns the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the territory.
DePaul history professor Tom Mockaitis joins us live now. Tom, thanks for being with us.
Good afternoon. Happy to do it.
Thank you. So focusing first on this hostage situation, Hamas has released 4 people so far. What does history tell us about past hostage negotiations in this region and what might come next?
Well, what it tells us is the longer that they stay alive, the more likely it is that they'll survive. On the other hand, this is an incredibly unique situation because they have, Israel has to offer Hamas something. I mean, given the way the rhetoric is ramped up, if you say, we return the hostages so we can come in and do a ground war and kill all of you, that's something of a non-starter. So I'm encouraged, and I'm just a glimmer of hope that maybe a ceasefire may actually be in the offing, because there's just no good solutions here. Israel does not want to occupy Hamas. Gaza. They're not even thrilled about going in there because they're going to take casualties. I mean, it's a rabbit warren. There are tunnels. I mean, Hamas knows that, backward and forward, it's just going to be an ugly, grueling battle, and the humanitarian crisis will get worse.
Let's talk for a moment about those tunnels, because one of the older hostages that was released yesterday in an interview spoke of this intricate tunnel system underneath the surface of Gaza. She compared it actually to a spider web. Could you talk more about that? Is that a surprise to hear? Has this been known all along?
I think they've had a pretty good idea that something like that was in place. What Israel's concentrated on was cutting off tunnels that went to the outside, that got into Israel or that got into Egypt, and they could smuggle arms through. This is a rabbit warren of tunnels that allow them to move around freely underground inside Gaza City and elsewhere. And from our experience in the Vietnam War, the only way to root them out is to send people down there to flush them out. And I just don't see, that's going to be a costly venture in all probability. I may be wrong. There may be some technical things they can do. But there's not a lot of good solutions. There are lesser of two evil solutions, and I think that's maybe what it comes down to.
Focusing on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza right now, there's concern about where the Palestinian people will go if Gaza is completely destroyed, if they can't return. Is there another Middle Eastern country that's willing to take these refugees in?
I don't see one that's willing to do it. Turkey said no. Egypt said no. These are not all. Turkey is probably the most prosperous in the region and the most stable. And if they don't want to do it, who's going to? Lebanon is already overrun with 1 million refugees in a country of 5 million people. Jordan had to turf out the PLO in the 1970s, and Egypt is economically struggling as well. And then what do? You have they will never be allowed back in. Anybody who takes them in, that'll be it. They'll have to somehow assimilate them and deal with all of those problems. So who does that leave? There's absolutely no one. And that means if you destroy Gaza, somebody's got to rebuild it. And that's why I say everybody's sort of getting painted into a corner where the only way out is some kind of stopping of the fighting to figure something else out.
Tom, while we have you and before we let you go, where do you see this going maybe let's just talk about the short term. We've had 2 almost consecutive days of hostages being released. Do you expect that to continue? And what does your gut tell you about why they're being released, at least so far, in pairs?
I don't know that I'd make anything of the pairs deal, but I think they may be being released gradually in return for letting the humanitarian aid convoys in. On the other hand, the aid coming in amounts to about 4% of what normally comes over the border on a daily basis. So it's not nearly enough to sustain people inside a desperate situation, which is Gaza. But I don't know. Are they currying favor with the Americans? I was surprised that the last 2 were Israelis. On the other hand, they're very elderly, and it may simply be the case that Hamas doesn't want to have them die in their care. Right. But they still have an awful lot more, and it's a question of what we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And that means we're guessing.
Tom Mockaitis, professor of history at DePaul University. Thank you so much again.
Happy to do it.